and I was too scared to lose him.
Yeah. Wisdom is found in the advice of many. It's also like, is he even supposed to be Uber?
I was the problem and she allowed you to be a problem. You're an adult. Take care of yourself. As soon as I was done talking to one girl, I was talking to another one immediately.
Rate Trevor 1 through 10.
Oh my God!
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Wild D, and it's another episode of Relationship Status, where we talk about everything young love, young relationships, both the good and the bad. And today, we got two very special guests on the show. And the first question we always gotta ask is, what's your relationship status?
Hey, I'm Tejan, and I am from New York, and I am single.
So y'all, I'm Trevor, I'm from Boston, I'm single.
All right, since we're talking about exes, who wants to go first?
You got it.
Somebody's got a story.
You got it.
Tell us a little bit about, like, you know, your past relationships. Choose an ex for us. What's your story?
Yeah.
Like, was it good, was it bad? We wanna hear it.
You want to hear it all? Okay. I've only have one ex, and we dated for 4 years.
Wait, hold on. Tell you dated one person your entire life?
Yeah.
4 years is crazy.
Yeah.
It was 4 years long?
Yeah, just
You're
Adam.
dating for like 6 years. How did I not know this?
Good for you.
We dated the entire college, so like before school even started, freshman year to graduation like graduation day, I think, is when we broke
You
up.
broke up on graduation day.
Like I think it was like a couple days. It was like here and there. We knew we were breaking up. So that's when it ended. There was obviously like during COVID, it was a little bit on and off when we went home, but then when we went to school, we were together, on and off together-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 4 years, a long time.
Okay. How would you describe that relationship? If you could choose like one word to describe that relationship, what would you choose?
Oh, I would say toxic.
Toxic. That's a good word. That's a good word. That's a good word. That's a good word. I witnessed that entire relationship. Toxic is absolutely the right word to use. I'm sorry. I don't mean to flame like that. But toxic was 100% the right word to use. Okay. It was toxic for what? Like a couple of different reasons. Like,
Yeah.
Can you highlight?
So like in the beginning, for sure, it was great, right? Like everything went well. We were just madly in love with each other. So yeah, it went well. And then you know how they say after like 6 months, like that's when you like after like the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
You like really like see.
All right. Yeah. Honeymoon phase.
Yeah, so after that ended, it kind of just like went downhill from there. Yeah. Not saying there was like not good moments throughout the 4 years. There was definitely good moments. Mm-hmm. But after those months, he definitely, I would say, like changed a little bit. I really believe in the fact that the guy has to love you more than the girl loves the guy.
That's a hot take.
Really?
I 100%.
First hot take of the show. I need to repeat that. Just repeat that one more time for the camera.
I think the guy has to love the girl more than the girl loves the guy for it to really work.
Why do you believe that?
From personal experience.
Okay, from your one relationship.
Well, yeah, my 4-year wrong
That's right.
relationship.
Let's go. That's something
You haven't
Hold on. I gotta change the color
research yet. You know what I mean?
I gotta turn it to red in here. It's getting spicy. Okay.
I feel like one relationship isn't enough to judge off of.
I guess also just like relationships like that I've seen. So I have like friends, and I just think it works better if the guy is in love with the girl more.
Girls and guys
I
are
don't know.
different.
They're just super different. Girls have more of like a. I guess this also might be a hot take, but girls are just naturally more like, I don't know if caring is the right word, but like nurturing.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I can give you
as a factor of evolution.
Yeah.
Right. Evolutionary traits of gender.
I don't know. I just think like guys as a whole, as a gender, just.
First of all, what we're not gonna do is generalize.
So that was hot.
What we're not gonna do is generalize.
Maybe I'm just like in that mindset right now, and maybe that's where my head is at in this moment.
Okay.
I think also just I haven't had great experiences where guys have not shouldn't be better than that.
Yeah.
So that's where my hot take comes from.
See, I hear you. I do. I hear it. Because, like, I know plenty of trifling males. But I also know quite a number of trifling females. Like, everybody's trifling. I feel like one party, I feel like there can't be a significant disparity for either one, right? Like,
Yeah, sure.
But let's figure it out. What she's saying though is like, okay, objectively, there's trifling males and there's trifling females.
Right.
But on average, who's trifling more? Who's more on the skew of trifling? Who trifles more?
Males.
Who is the most of trifle?
No,
See, here's we're gonna need to break this down because I know everybody just say men, but I will say I feel like men, dudes just be like real flagrant in your face, trifling. Women be sneaky. Hella sneaky, bro. So like a woman have like 5 dudes in her phone and she'll just remember to delete the thread. The dude just won't. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's smart.
It's
That's
good.
good. Guys are just stupid then if they're not doing
Right.
it.
And I get that. My thing is I always feel like the worst part of like being trifling is getting caught because then you really just didn't care about how they felt. But it's also like, does that make me more trifling than you if I was just doing things brazenly and you were being trifling on the low? No. You're just more sneaky about it.
This is interesting.
You get what I'm saying?
This is
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm not gonna argue that, but like, why? That just means like girls are smarter about it.
Right.
But sure. But are they both wrong?
Yeah, obviously.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if the murderer who kills 6 people and goes to jail, and the murderer who kills 6 people and got away with it, is still murder who got away with it like better than him? Like, nah, they both murderers.
I guess when you put it like that.
You get me?
Okay, well,
I'm only speaking from like my experience.
Let's focus. So
Okay.
you said
Yeah, I got super off
that
topic.
most men. No, we're still on topic.
Okay.
I want to go back because this is a very important point, and I want you to like really articulate like what has made you to conclude that about the male race.
I think especially right now, our generation, just like the hookup culture and everything, I feel like just from what I've seen and like the people that I've spoken to, guys are not really looking for anything more. Like they're just, it's like a one and done type of thing from what I've seen, especially like right now.
All right, let me ask a question.
And you can disagree.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. Generally, do you feel like men are more inclined to want just casual sex versus women being more inclined to want like relationships?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
does it make a man trifling if he just simply follows through on what it is that he wants and you agree to it? Because we're talking about consensual relationships here.
Yeah.
So it's like if I, as a man, go up to a woman and say, hey, like, I'm only interested in doing this one time, and you do it, and then you expect me to continue because that's what you want, that don't mean trifling. That just means you have unrealistic expectations.
Okay, yeah, agreed. But if I like knew that like going in, like it's not making me more upset, more mad. I'm just like kind of making a statement like that's what I've seen lately. Like that's just the case.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like we should be demonizing people for wanting what it is that they want. You know what I mean? Like,
Again, maybe it's not like a bad thing. It's just frustrating.
I can understand.
It would
that.
probably just be like frustrating.
I can understand.
But these men that you're talking about, and like we've had obviously a lot of conversations about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the men that you're talking about, they make it like your point is, men just on average aren't looking for relationships. They want a one and done kind of deal, or a couple times and then done kind of deal, right? But and what to Trevor's point is like that may not be a bad thing if they made it clear, like if they openly communicated that to you, and it's like this is what I want. If you're not comfortable with that, then we shouldn't do this. But I get the sense that that's not how they approach the situation with you. Did they? Were they clear about like, oh hey, like I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to
not at all.
mess around. Or do they kind of lead you and egg you on? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, for sure. It's definitely not like been clear from the start. Like, oh hey, like this is just like a one-time thing, and like we're just having fun. Like no, it's very confusing because like you hang out, you go on dates, and then just wanted to hook up and that was it. Or like you would go hang out, you're like talking, whatever, and then you hook up and they're like, oh, that's what you wanted, and that's it. And then you're done.
This is very interesting. It's going to lead to our next question. Trevor, why do you think men in general, right? Like, why don't they just come up and be openly communicative instead of like going out, if they want to if they want to just hook up with a girl, you know what I'm saying? Why are they taking her on several dates just to lead up to that when they could have just said up front, hey, like, I don't want much. I'm not ready for commitment. Right. I just want to,
Right.
It's bad. Like,
it's an excellent question that you asked. It's an excellent question. I think we all should look inwards and ask ourselves, why do we lie to people? Why do we lie to people? Because everybody does it. We're all liars. Let's look at that first and foremost. Why are we all liars? There's a cultural norm of like deceit that exists. So let's look at that first. But in this specific instance, why do men tell or lead women on or not be upfront about their intentions? Well, what happens if a guy comes up to you? Like, let's say, for example, I see you in the coffee shop. I'm like, hey, I think you're pretty. You want to? I'm sorry, I said that. No, yeah, that's. I mean, but it's like, no, really. If I come up to you like, hey, I think you're super pretty. I'm interested in hooking up with you. How are you gonna take that?
Not well.
Right. So why do people ever conceal the truth? Because it's not going to be received well. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think for the most part, if you told men that, hey, it was socially acceptable to just be completely blunt about your intentions with somebody and you're not going to be vilified for it. Because it's one thing to tell somebody, hey, I'm not interested in that. No, thank you. But it's a whole nother situation, I think, what the reality is that if I were to go to one and be like, hey, I just want to have sex with you, I'm then going to be portrayed as like, you're shallow, you're this, you're that. There is a whole bunch of negatives that are going to get painted and applied to my character for simply being honest. That's why men, for the most part, some people are just manipulative. I mean, you can't. But I think for the most part, I think that's why men will go through the song and dance like, hey, I'm going to take you on a date, hey, we're going to hang out. I'm not going to be overly sexual explicitly because you're going to take that the wrong way. And so they take that approach. And then you feel like they were leading them on. They felt like they were being respectful about it. You know what I'm saying?
This is really good. That's good. That's good stuff.
I do see what you're saying. If a guy came up to me and said that, it probably wouldn't go well.
Agree with you. I'm a big believer that honesty is the best policy. Why lie? Because guess what? If she doesn't want to, somebody does. Somebody do. All right? I believe that honesty is the best policy. I just know that the reason a lot of people aren't upfront and honest is because how they believe it's going to be received. That's all. That's all it is. But me personally, nobody.
That's right. You tell straight up.
I don't got time.
So how do you do it?
How do I do it?
You're like,
how do I do it? All right. So first of all, I don't be doing nothing. I want that to be. I got no motion, no activity. My messages are dry. Like, I don't be doing nothing. But hypothetically speaking, like if I were to be outside, if I were to be out here in these streets being active, hypothetically. You feel me? Like, this is not real life. What did Lil Durk say? This is all each other. It's not real. It's all props. But like, I feel like me, I'm probably not gonna be like super like over the top. Like, first interaction is like, we're just gonna keep it calm, we're gonna chop. You know what I'm saying? And we're just having a conversation. If you feeling me cool, we'll go from there. I think it's in the planning of the link. Because I like dates, personally. I think dates are fun. I like to go to eat, I like trying new places. Like, we go on dates. But it's like, I feel like at some point between first interaction and whatever the first link is, like, there needs to be an explicit expression of like, what are we about to do? You know what I'm saying? So if I'm just trying to like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Then that's gonna come up as something. Now, obviously, it's gonna depend on the person. Now, there's some girls who are really bold, and they'll say it first. I'm like, God bless you. Thank you. Because it's like, I'm never gonna take that wrong. Here's the thing: you ain't got nothing to lose. If you're a woman, you ain't got nothing to lose. If you walk up to a man on the street, if you're a moderately attractive woman, you walk up to a man on the street like, hey, I want to have sex with you. The worst thing he's gonna be saying like, I'm good, or like, I got a girlfriend. But he's not gonna be like, oh my God, you're a predator. Like, you got nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose. And I bet you, especially if it's not a random man on the street, like if it's somebody you know and you say that, you got like a 70% chance. So you really have nothing to lose here. It's nothing but a green light for women. For men, like you kind of gotta walk the tightrope. But for women, shoot.
Man, so the stakes are lower.
They are because like realistically, if a woman came up to me like, hey, I want to have sex with you, and I found her attractive, like, all right, let's do it. So
let's get to it.
We're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, deal close.
So it's on the paper. So yeah, that's all.
I like that.
And you said his personality was like,
Yeah.
Why then did you give this man 4 years of your life?
That's a good question.
Good question, yeah. So in the beginning, it just came very natural, like hanging out with him. So like we had a lot of fun. It was easy, like conversation flowed. It just like I felt very comfortable being around him, and we had a good time. So, and I felt like I could be myself, and that's something like really, really important to me. So I was 100% myself. I didn't feel like I had to act a certain way. I didn't feel like I had to front or anything. I was just myself entirely. And so just initially like that. I was also like 17, I just started telling some of that, like, you know.
He was a little bit that guy.
Cloud chase.
He was actually that guy.
Yeah, especially like the school we went to, like, for sure.
Freshman year, it was that guy.
Okay. But yeah, like it definitely wasn't bad in the beginning at all. Like I wouldn't even say there was like a bad moment. Like we just had a lot of fun, and like our personalities, I initially felt very similar. And yeah, we just like we linked, we like vibed very early on, and I guess I was like also like a relationship type person. I didn't need to have that college, you know, go crazy experience, hooking up with whoever. I didn't need to have that. And I just, yeah, it happened. And then before you know it, you know, a couple years down the road, you're like, you know. So then, like, I loved him. And then when you, like, love someone, you let, like, things slide. And, you know, things get bigger and bigger and more things happen. Like, it becomes, like, harder, you know, more time. You're together for a longer time. And, like, it's harder to leave. Even though, like, you probably should have a while ago.
Right.
But yeah, like I loved him, like, for sure. So I don't regret being with him at all. And I think he would say the exact same thing. But yeah, all you have to do is, like, looking at it now is like a learning experience.
I agree. As long as you want.
But he changed also throughout the relationship. There was a big change on his end. Like, I would definitely say freshman year he was a simp. Like, he was the big simp. And then I don't know what happened. Like,
he got some clouds.
No, sophomore year, it's
but
like
he already had the clout.
He didn't put any effort in. Like, nothing. Didn't take me out on dates.
Yeah, because you didn't make them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I let it slide. So then once, like, it was honestly my fault. So, like, I think about that all the time. Like, yeah, I didn't say anything. I didn't, like, stand up for myself. I didn't make him believe that he had to. So he just kept getting away with, like, doing the absolute bare minimum. And me being okay with that or not saying that, that's not okay. Right. So.
Yeah. Men are kind of like dogs, you know? Like.
I'm not claiming that, man. I'm not claiming that.
Like, you know how, like, a
fiercely loyal. I agree. In that sense, we are fiercely loyal.
No, but on a serious note, men are like dogs. If you think about it, like, when a dog does something that it knows it's like, oh, like, it's kind of not right, but you don't penalize it, it'll keep doing that same thing every day.
Yeah.
And if you don't penalize it, it'll just keep doing it forever until it becomes a part of its routine. That's how. That's actually like every living man. I don't know why
that's how you raise kids. It's like,
No, girls are like more emotionally mature than
on average, yeah, like
yes,
a woman
on average,
probably
a woman is more mature. Yes.
Wait. I got a wrench to throw in that theory because everyone always says that, oh, women are more emotionally intelligent, women are more emotionally mature. If you're so emotionally intelligent, why are you letting that man who clearly does not care about you manipulate? Let me know. You're so intelligent, but you can't see I don't care about you. Like, what's going on? I'm confused.
Hey, what do you got to say about that?
I'm confused.
What do you got to say about that?
I think about a response for that one.
I have a response right now, and I'm not even a female.
I'll say it.
Here's what I think. Just because you're emotionally intelligent, it doesn't mean that you're emotionally strong, right? Like, you may be aware that he's manipulating you. I'm sure she was not ignorant of the fact. She just didn't have the internal, what my guess would be is you didn't have the internal strength to say, hey, like, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I can do without you.
I was too scared.
If you're not going to treat me right, like, I'm not going to stay with you. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't think I
could
would be okay.
Case?
Yeah.
But you were aware. Emotional intelligence is just the fact that you're aware.
I didn't think I would be okay without him. And I was too scared to lose him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Why? Let's dig into that.
You thought that was the best you could do?
Yeah, honestly, at the time, I really did. I thought that was the best I could do. And obviously looking at
But despite everybody telling you, like,
the thing is, like, during the relationship, like, I would say besides senior year, the first 3 years, like, no one, like, people were just like, you could do better looks-wise. Like, no one was really, let's be real, like, no one was really talking to me.
That's
so disrespectful. How do you respond to that? How did you respond to that? I was like, you can do better. Like, you
you don't respond. I'm just like,
You kind of just laughed it off.
you just laughed at it. I was like, I think he's attractive, so like, you know, that's my like, I guess like no one else's opinion really mattered to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's the shit.
You know, like it really, like I couldn't care less. Like that's why like even when people said it, it's like it doesn't make me upset. It doesn't bother me. Like I just like okay, cool. Like I couldn't care less. Kind of.
That's emotional strength.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
because I'm folded. If my man's like a young girl's head, I'm folded. Hey, she's dropped. I'm sorry.
See, that's also a thing. So this is a separate conversation, but I think guys listen way too much to their friends' advice than girls. And I can give you an instance because senior year, Adam's friends, he told them something and he was like, bro, like you need to break up with her. Nothing big. And he came back to my apartment, packed up all and was like, just left. And I was like, we're not gonna, next day broke up with me.
Yeah, he's really crazy for that. I'm not gonna lie.
So it's like, guys listen to their friends so much. Like, one of my close friends, like, could be like, hey, like, I don't think this is the best for you. Like, I don't think you should do it, whatever. Like, really. And if I could disregard, like, I'll listen to her. I'll be like, okay, like, I see what she's saying, but, like, that wouldn't be, like, any decision for me. Versus, like, I sometimes think, like, guys, like, they really listen to their friends' opinions way too much and sometimes don't, like, let that interfere a lot. And I've seen a couple instances with my guy friends from college as well. You know, as you know who they are.
I can't speak to this at all. I don't ask for input on my relationships with my homies for real.
I just think guys give bad advice to other guys too.
Because you don't know my relationship. Like, what are you gonna?
And that's the issue.
You can't give me perspective on something that I'm in and you're not. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if anything, I'm gonna ask my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I really need some advice, I'm going to an O-head, first of all. But it's like, well, my boy don't know what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to bring my situation. What I was saying is, like, if I said to girl, like, if I'm about to slide in some DMs or something, like, I think this girl fired, and I screenshot and sent it to the IG chat, everybody's like, I'm not sliding.
Yeah, just, yeah. Preliminary, like,
yeah. But I'm talking like even big things.
But serious problems. Like,
serious things.
Nah, serious problems I'm gonna handle myself because those are my problems. Like,
yeah, but so that's guys, like, that's what guys don't do. They, like, ask their friends for advice that, like, they don't even know a lot about, and they don't know everything that's going on. That's how it, like, messes it up.
Right.
They don't know your relationship, but they're telling you to do this, and you're listening to them. How the fuck does that make sense?
That just sounds like a very weak-willed individual. But hey.
And it's funny because I'm really use scripture. You guys don't mind.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Like, even the Bible text says, right, for those who believe in it, and even just general advice in life, is wisdom is found in the advice of many, right? Like, we're just one human being with, 23 years on this earth? Right. Most of that year is being spent in elementary school, right? Like, we don't know about the world, you know what I mean? And all of its problems. But when you compile multiple people's opinions, you're taking that person's 23 years, that person's 23 years, that person's 23 years, adding up 64 years of experience, and maybe someone who's 30, someone who's 40, right? Your mom, your uncle, your family friend, and you're getting perspective on, you know, relationships, especially your own. I think it's useful in some sense, right? Or some regard to get advice from multiple people that you trust, because they may be able to make you view a situation in a way that you're just not seeing it because you have a limited view.
That's true. No, I agree.
So how do you control that, right? Like how do you balance that between like just thinking for yourself because you don't want to expose what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters to, like you said, have people that you trust and like legitimately trust their life experiences. The thing is, like, just because you have lived life doesn't mean you've had positive experiences. And so those negative experiences that you might have had can detract from the information you're giving me. So it's like, I'm not just taking advice from everybody. Some people are stupid. So it's like, I don't want to listen to you. So obviously they have to have a level of, like, I have to trust their decision making and their perspective and things like that. But like, I do sometimes will seek advice from people. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not making a decision that wasn't mine. So I'm going to take what you said. I'm going to kind of process that information. But at the end of the day, my man said jump, I'm not jumping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be like, does jumping make sense right now? And so I think it's always important to, like, understand that your decisions are your own. And you have to educate yourself so you can make the most informed decision. And part of the education process might be talking to people But it's also like, I'm filtering that in the same way I filtered any information I've gotten from maybe a book I've read about relationships or a video I've watched. It's the same type of thing. I'm not taking that as like, okay, you said this is law. Taking it and filtering it with my worldview and my life experiences and then coming to my own decision. Whereas there's some people who literally, you say something, they just doing that. And I feel like that is an issue because that person doesn't know more about the situation than you do.
Right. It's mental laziness.
Right, yeah.
Thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
Is the key part there.
That's right.
So I mean, in your own words now, it sounds like, okay, I should take advice from other people, but like filter it and think for myself. But you only talk to your mom about the situation.
No, I mean, I kind of lied.
Oh, you kind of. So you do call your boys sometimes, right? Or you do call like
sometimes I
people that you respect.
Sometimes I call the homegirls. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people I can run down the list and get some information.
Yeah, obviously when it applies, like right?
Yeah.
But
I love hearing guys' advice, especially if I'm dealing with a guy. I think it's so cool to talk to you or like any of the boys, and I think sometimes that's better than talking to girls because then you hear what's going through their minds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I have a lot of like homegirls, so I'll ask them their perspective. Half the time I ignore it, but I'll ask.
If you hooked up with a girl and she's leaving in the morning, would you call her and Uber back?
Absolutely, my mother is in China.
Unfortunate case of the fact is that I think out of all the guys that I've hooked up with, one guy has done that for me.
Damn.
Wow.
The last guy that I hooked up with said, "Take the subway home."
Oh, not the
And then he proceeded to take out his phone and pull up the subway schedule.
Oh, not the
my
MTA.
gosh!
Not the MTA app. Not the MTA, bro.
Damn, is it really like that?
That's actually out of
That's what I'm trying to let you guys know. It's wrong out of this.
Alright. I'm gonna keep it so real. I'm gonna keep it so real.
It's so wrong.
It's really hard for women out here. It really is. Because like,
Just agree on that.
as a former toxic myself,
Reform.
I'm reformed. I'm different now. But it's like, I went through a little phase. You know what I'm saying? It's like what you realize is once you know you're the type of dude that women want, like most women got similar standards. So
But
you know
it's not even the type of, it's not even hot guys.
right, but you guys let them get away with it. This is the point. People will treat
But then
you.
no, can I tell you why? Because then like a lot of times guys are like, oh, girls are so needy, girls like need so much, like all they want is like money, like they want us to pay for things, and then like so then you open your mouth and you say something like, hey, like can you call me an Uber home? And now all of a sudden you're super needy and like you know.
Right, well, because men are selfish. Well, most people are selfish. But if you think about it, right, like if this man, all he wanted from you was sex, he got the sex. What incentive does he have to do anything for you? He doesn't care about you for real. You know what I'm saying?
If you like hook up with a dude that doesn't have a moral compass.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. Women have it hard because you can never know. Because a man who cares about you and a man who don't care about you will present themselves the same way. They're gonna pretend like they care until they get what they want, and then it's like then you gonna find out. So it's like you're kind of you gotta just go by faith, and if the man's okay, he's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like
Every single guy, not one guy's called me an Uber home.
Right, but it's like
one.
but it's like what's the incentive for them to do that?
That's rough.
That's just being a nice person.
Right. But the point is, I need you to take away like the altruism and like the normative. Like, just think about it from a pure like, what's if I'm not a good person? Let's stop assuming these people are good people. What is the incentive for me to do anything nice for you after I've already gone with them?
But the thing is, I don't even think this guy was a bad guy.
Right, but let's not assume that he is a good guy. Because again, if my only goal was to hook up with you and I've already hooked up with you, what incentive is there for me if I'm not a good person to do anything nice for you? There's nothing.
Right.
So it's like, that's what happens. You have the task, and it's almost an impossible task, of figuring out whether this is a good person prior to. And if they're not, but you can never know. So it's like you're just
It's kind of just like
praying.
human decency.
Right, but a lot of people don't have that. Why are we assuming that most people are good people? Because they're not.
Yeah, it's just that I have to look at the best in people, and I apparently need to change that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at the statistics, are most people that good?
No.
All right, so I feel like we need to be a little bit more realistic in our approach.
But here's the other question. It's also like, is he even supposed to be Ubering you? Like, right? Like he may not be a bad
person. He just doesn't feel like
That's what I'm saying.
he's entitled to pay for
Yeah,
it.
why
That's
is
like,
he
I paid
Like, it's like, he's not, like, it's not a transactional. it's
Yeah,
not
why is he
transactional.
obligated to provide you transportation?
But
You're going
no,
home.
she would say, and what most women would say is, oh, it's just in the spirit of, like what you had said earlier, altruism, like just being a good, kind-hearted person. As a man,
Yeah, that's what
typically
you're,
men open the door for a
that
woman.
is what you're told to
Typically-
do as a man, right? So as a gentleman, you're supposed to do certain
As a
things
gentleman, exactly.
for women.
Okay, how
But
about this?
if you're thinking about it on some just like, yo, we're both adults. Like, we're thinking about this, we're on equal planes here. You're a grown adult, I'm a grown adult. We engaged in a consensual activity where we supposedly both receive pleasure out of this. Now you're going home. Why is it my obligation to provide you transportation?
Yeah. That's what most men in that situation would ask.
Right.
But it's also like I paid for the Uber there. Like,
Right, because you're going there.
yeah, but like, since I'm going there, like, and I paid for the Uber there, shouldn't like there be some? Like,
Alright, so if I go to visit Angel and I Uber to his crib, I'm not gonna expect him to Uber me back.
that's because you guys are friends.
Right. I'm a grown adult and I can take care of myself. Why does this?
But it's not that I can't take care of
Right,
myself.
but why
I'm
does
not
your
making this up. I call my ass an
but
Uber.
why does your first of all, the subway's fine. But why does your expectation
It's not fun
change?
with the walk of shame in the morning.
Why is it a walk of shame?
You're wearing heels, like, in my going out clothes.
Right.
Subway's not a safe place.
Okay, fair
Especially nowadays.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, I got my pepper spray, but how much is that going to save me?
Fair point. But the point more so is that again, right? Like, why does the expectation change when sex is involved? Is that my obligation now to compensate you for that? Right? So if you go to hang out with your friends, just platonic male friends, right? You go to his crib, that's where you're posting up, and then you leave. Is he supposed to pay for you?
No.
So, what you're saying is because you had sex with this man, he is now obligated to provide you transportation. You're making sex very transactional. And I think that's kind of the perspective that a lot of dudes are taking from this. Like, you are a grown adult who is responsible for yourself. You're going home. Why should I be responsible for paying for you? Right? Now, again, I'm going to pay for it, me personally. But if you're really thinking about it on a completely equality level,
Should they be penalized for not paying for it?
right? Like, you're an adult. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I
Light switch.
understand what you're saying. I guess it's also like, it feels good. Like, it's not just like the money aspect. It's like, oh, like he cares enough for me.
That person cares about you.
He cares enough for me to get home safe at least. Like
Right,
bare minimum, right? So that feels good.
Right. No, I get why you like it. And again, I do buy I'll get
It's
you
not
over
just-
there and back.
It's not just the money. It's like not even actually about money. at all.
I understand it's not about the money. I understand it's a gesture. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to go out of my way to make sure you get home safely. I understand that. I get it. Again, I buy the Uber there and back. But again, a lot of that is baked into your expectations that you've been told, like, this is what a gentleman does. This is what a man does. And these are all patriarchal concepts. So when we talk about tearing down the patriarchy, that goes with it. So if you're really evaluating, like, okay, why do I have these expectations of men, especially men I'm involved romantically, intimately, sexually, you have to really examine that. Because you literally just said that I only have this expectation when I have sex with somebody. So you've now made sex a transaction. Okay, if I give you
Or
this,
it's
you're going
not
to give
just
me
sex.
this.
If it's like, if I'm hanging out with a dude in general, like I'm saying, take away friends. Like if there can be no sex involved, but like, you know. But then that goes into the topic of like paying for dates. Like
Right.
what? Like
Let's go into that.
So
Should a man pay for the date?
yes.
Why?
Yes.
why do you think?
Because
so?
that's just how it is.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
No, I'm 100% serious. Like, I'm so just like obviously you can like break it down. Like, why is it that way? And again, it's a patriarchal thing. But like, bro, that's just how it is. Do what you need to do. Like,
But
you know what I'm
also
saying?
like I put so much time, money, and effort into getting ready.
I hate that argument. I hate that argument because it's like, what you think I'm just stepping out on like a $2 outfit?
Yes.
I look the fuck good. You know how much my Jordans
Girls
cost?
get their
Are
hair.
you crazy?
Girls get their hair done.
No one told you to do that.
$200.
No one told you to do that.
$200.
I get my hair done too. You think this just come out like, you think I do this? I don't. You know what I'm saying? You think this haircut is free? It's not. You think these Jordans were free? They're not. You think this jacket was free? It's not. You
No,
think
that's
this,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? I hate that argument. Oh, it takes me so long to get ready. First of all, yo, makeup look like, let's get
Damn. Don't say y'all are terrible.
No, have you ever seen girls' birthday makeup? Why do y'all do that? That's terrible.
That's terrible.
I swear, but no, real. Like, if you ask me, because first and foremost, what I was told is that women get dressed up and put their makeup on for themselves, not me. So that ain't got shit to do with me what you decided to do. So why am I on the hook for what you decided to do in your free time? We both had to get ready. We both had to get here. We both put money into our appearance. So let's get rid of that, because it's not like you're the only one spending the money on how you look. I look good too. So that's how. So why should I be the one paying?
It's just how it is. And I agree with that.
Thank you. It's just the way it is. And I'm okay with that.
It's just like, it makes you feel good in terms of like, oh, he cares. Like, even going back when they were like, he
What
wants
about
to
how he
be.
feels?
Well, who cares what guys
How do we know
think?
that you care?
What is
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Whoa!
Wait, also,
What?
you're saying all these wax.
Wow!
Kim,
You heard that?
Kim,
She said, who?
You guys saw that, right? Okay.
She said,
One more
who gives
time.
a fuck how guys
One more time.
feel?
No, he said it. He said it pretty well.
Like, you see this? You see this?
Unbelievable.
You see this? Like, but that's the thing.
This is why we're
Again,
here today. Relationship status.
Women
Point.
have been taught that in romantic pursuits, they are the prize. They are the ones who should be pursued, and the man is expected to do, X number of things in order to get them, quote unquote. Which, again, I don't have an issue with, personally. I'm paying for the dates, I'm organizing the dates, I'm gonna pick you up, or if I'm calling you, I'm gonna do all that. But you have to understand where these things come from. That itself is a patriarchal concept. So if you're walking around here like, let's dismantle the patriarchy.
Wait, who said that though?
What?
That isn't.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you are, but like, I be on the internet, you know what I mean? And I see the same people talking about this and that at the same time. So it's like, you gotta understand where these things come from. Why do you have this expectation of that man?
But how long should men pay for dates for?
I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Some people say up until you start dating.
If that's not my girl, she can't pay.
Exclusive.
Like, if that's not my girl, she's not allowed to pay.
Like for indefinitely.
Like if we're just like, if I'm just taking you on dates, like I'm not gonna let you pay for not my girl.
Don't you think it should be the person who asked us?
Yeah, but when is a girl ever
ask
asking?
me?
Then people also say that.
When is a girl ever asking on a date?
Because that's just not how things are.
Some girls do that.
Who?
Some girls.
What girl
Hey,
hey bro, be ready at 7 o'clock, I'm gonna pick you up and we're going. I made a reservation. Who does that?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that.
No, but what about when you're in a relationship?
Oh, when you're in a relationship.
Oh,
it's
we got
different.
one right here.
I feel like when you're in a relationship, like, yeah, I feel
It's like before when
it
you're
should be
like
equal
dating.
effort.
When you're dating.
But I feel like when it comes to like the pursuit, I got it. You know what I mean? Once you're in a relationship, though, like you can contribute, but.
Are you?
He said my
You
work
ordered
here is
5
done.
drinks? Yeah. So now that we've like heard a lot about your situation, let's change the focus to Trevor. What's like the most? Talk about like the most toxic. Talk about the most toxic situation you've ever been in. You can give like a specific like moment or like a series of time when you were with a person or a situationship. Give us like a situation where.
All right, so like I said, I'm a reformed toxic individual. I had my time. I did.
So that was once toxic.
Yeah, I was once toxic, not anymore though. But yeah, no, there was a girl I dated like probably from the end of 2020 to like summer 2021, and
It's like 6-7 months.
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. 4 years is crazy. I ain't never dated. But nah, we was cool for like 3 months. Right before, like 2 weeks before Valentine's Day, I broke up with her.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He said I didn't want to pay for no chocolates.
Seriously.
No roses.
Yeah. My thing is like, I kind of got bored. And it was just, I just didn't care. And then we would like go kind of on and off for like the rest of like until like August.
But let's be real though, you had another Valentine lined up, huh?
No, I didn't.
No way.
Nah.
So you spent Valentine's Day alone that year?
Why the hell am I trying to do all this on a random Thursday, bro? Like, for what? What? For what? I don't even believe in holidays but that's neither here nor there. But basically, the reason I say this is my most toxic situation was just because like we would break up and then we get back together like 2 weeks later, like on a consistent schedule. So like it would just be like, all right, we're not talking no more. 2 days later, yo, what's up? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're gonna remain friends. 2 days later, we're fighting. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel
Do you think you can be friends with your exes?
yeah. I just think I think you can. I think it requires a level of maturity, and it definitely can't happen right after the breakup. You know what I'm saying? Because if it happens right after, what would happen is like we would break up, like, okay, we're gonna still be friends. So there's clearly still feelings here. There's clearly still attraction. So that's how we would end up.
I think another relationship needs to happen in between for you to be friends.
I don't think another relationship has to happen. I just think there has to be enough time where you both have like you're over the tap.
I don't know. It's like yes, but it's like I feel like there's also gonna be like sexual tension.
That's true.
And all that kind of stuff. So that's why it's like, let's say you were in a new relationship with a girl, and would you be able to be friends with your ex?
I probably wouldn't be communicating with my ex if I was in a relationship with another guy. Like, this is disrespectful. Right. That's a little disrespectful.
It's a little disrespectful.
But I mean, I'm cool with a lot of girls I was either with or like we were talking for an extended period of time. I just feel like, again, you let enough time go by. It's like, happened back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
They say time also heals all. So.
Right, sometimes.
Sometimes. Not all the time.
Sometimes heals.
Some people, they ain't never getting forgiven. If I see them, I'm doing them wrong. But like, you know, I just feel like depending on how mature these people are. Because if someone did me the way I did some people, I wouldn't be cool with them. But you know, those people are better than me. Those people are better than me, and I appreciate them for it. I appreciate them for it. Because I wouldn't. I'll tell you that. But
let's go back. Let's go back to your relationship on and off for 2 weeks. Who was the problem?
Me. I was the problem.
You're the problem.
I was the problem.
We like a self-aware.
I was the problem, and she allowed me to be a problem. That's why I continue to be a problem.
It sounds very familiar.
Right. That sounds familiar. People. Yes. Well, this is usually how it works. People treat you how you allow them. So if we're having a relationship and I'm getting all these benefits from it, and you're not requiring me to put in anything, would I stop? You know what I'm saying? Like this is purely one-sided, and I'm reaping all the benefits without having to do any of the work. I'm a free rider here. Why would I stop free riding?
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. Like,
no, I let it happen, 100%.
Exactly. So it's like that's why I say I was the problem, and she let me be the problem. So like I would like act up, whatever, disappear for 2 weeks, come back, like I'm sorry, and she like, it's like, yo, after 3 or 4 times, like, you know I'm lying. You know I'm lying.
You said use context.
Fool me one time. Shame on you. So I can't feel it again. I mean, so I just, like I said, after a certain point, like, like it got to a point where I told her, I was like, listen, if you were like my female friend and you told me about a dude who was treating you the way I'm treating you, I would tell you to leave him. I was just figuring out what I could get away with. Like,
oh god,
damn. Yeah, I was on a crazy ego trip, but you know, like I said, that was in the past. I don't do that anymore.
I'm glad to see that you're changed, man.
Yeah, because it's just like, you know, you gotta grow.
What changed you?
You know, I started feeling bad a little bit. I was like, dang, maybe that wasn't like cool. You know, if someone had did that to me, I mean, I wouldn't let somebody do that to me personally, but like if somebody were to have done that to me, I'd have been tight. And then I just realized, you know, like I realized I had a problem because it was like, as soon as I was done talking to one girl, I was talking to another one immediately. I mean, like the next day.
Okay.
I'm talking, I had their replacement lined up before I even cut them off. So it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't just cut someone off your roster without having
a backup. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Right. Yeah.
If we got 15 spots on the roster, all 15 are going to be full at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Reform, though. Reform. This is keyword. This is all in the past.
Nah, but like I would just be like, I stopped talking to a girl, have another one. So like one of the times me and that girl, bro, like stopped talking, I had started talking to this one girl, and I was like with the first girl one night, and then the next day I linked the other one, and then the girl called me, and she was like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Oh, I'm in my apartment," and she was like, "Hey, you're not. I'm here." I was like, "Oh."
Yo, but you're not with her anymore, so like,
right, and that's what I said. I was like, I mean, yeah, you're right, I lied, but you're not my girl, so yeah, you're right, I lied. You know, I was like, what are you gonna do about it, you know? So, but yeah, it was like at that point, I was just brazenly like just doing. Yeah, so like I was very, very trifling, but no longer. I don't live that life anymore.
Yeah. You checked you, but like okay, so we broke it down that you were the problem.
I was the problem. Yeah.
It's like I'm curious now, like why did she stay? And I want to hear her say like, why do you think, given that you were in a similar situation, why didn't she stay?
Well, you think like the guy's gonna change and like just magically and just
It would have taken magic, I tell you.
which is just not the case. Like I think the biggest mistake that girls make is that they think that they can make guys change or that guys will change. It just doesn't happen.
Bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah, and it's just like you really think and like you really want it to work and you want to believe it's gonna work, so you tell yourself that, but just like reality of the matter is that it's just not.
Yeah, it's delusion, really. Not truly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, when someone shows you who they are, you should probably believe them, especially if it happens multiple times. Where it's like, again, if we
But we
break,
want to believe in the best.
right? If we break up, get back together, then break up, and then get back together, like you understand where this is
But
going.
it's also like we want to believe like I was like if he really loves me this much, like he's saying he loves me, then like things are gonna
Talk
change.
is cheap. It's so easy to tell somebody you love them. Like that's the easy
Actions
thing
speak
to do.
louder.
So this guy didn't love me. We did it for 4 years, but you're trying to me.
Well. I am a scholar.
Because
I've been reading. I've been doing some reading. I've been reading All About Love by Bell Hooks. All right, so I do my thing. But she gave an interesting definition of love, and I can't quote it because But basically, you can care for somebody but not love them. Love them. There's a level of like intentionality, like moving with their best interest at heart. And I think if somebody's actively manipulating or taking advantage of you, they don't really love you. They might care for you. They might legitimately care for you, but love is another step. And I feel like people will say they love you because they care about you a lot or they enjoy spending time around you. But there's more action. Like love requires action. If you're not acting behind it, the words don't mean nothing. So if you're telling me, oh my God, I love you, and then it's like your daughter, it's like,
Welcome to my favorite part of the show we call Hot Seat. Essentially, in this part of the show, we're going to be asking them very controversial questions. I mean, I'm medium, mild, hot. We'll see how it goes. But you guys have about 60 seconds to 2 minutes to answer it. It's got to be quick. It's got to be on the fly. No overthinking. Just spit it out. All right? I'm going to ask you one question at a time, and then we'll go from there.
sounds good.
First question, Tayshawn. Would you ever take him or her back if they cheated?
No.
Why?
Because if the trust is broken, it's just really hard to get it back, and I don't think I would personally be able to forgive them or be able to trust them the same way. Even if they've done every single thing in their power to try to regain my trust, and they've done everything, I don't think it's possible just with myself. It's hard. When you break someone's trust, it's really hard to gain it back. And, sometimes, cheating happens. And even though it is only... But sometimes, even if it does happen only once and it's not going to happen again, it's extremely hard. Even if you forgive them, it's still extremely hard for you in the back of your mind not to think, oh, this might happen again.
Facts.
So...
Okay. All right, Trevor.
Yeah.
Is it okay if your girl, let's say you're dating a girl, is it okay for her to find another man attractive?
What do you mean, is it okay? It's what's gonna happen. Like, people's attraction to other people doesn't just turn off because they're in a relationship.
All right, fair.
That actually happened to me, though. In the beginning, for a very long time when I was in love, I found no other dude attractive.
You're different because I don't know anything about
No, but let's say, in her heart, she can think about it and be like, oh, yeah, he's attractive, but she's not really saying anything about it. But what if she's talking with her friends, right? Or she's making it blatantly clear that this man, she's looking at a celebrity and it's oh my God, this is you know what I mean? Do you care about that?
No. My thing is here's the thing. You got people you want you got people you find attractive. I got people I find attractive, right? You're probably not gonna hit them off. I'm probably not gonna hit my list off. We don't need to talk about it. Don't tell me. You know what I'm saying? You can talk with your girlfriends about, you could say the most reckless thing with your friend. I don't care if I don't hear about it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh my God, he's so fine all in my face. I don't need to hear all that. But it's if that's what you're thinking of, I don't really care. Because to me, the commitment isn't in the desire, it's in the action. So it's you can be attracted to them. If you don't do nothing, then you haven't broken the commitment.
That's a good answer.
Okay.
All right, Trevor. Would you care if the woman made more than you? And you're married. Like,
How much more? How much do I make?
I'm talking about like she's the breadwinner.
This
you're a stay-at-home.
This is a very like I'm a stay-at-home. Like I'm not worried. Like my only job.
Or let's say you're working, but like she's just making what? Like
but how much money
she's
am I making though?
You're making let's say it. Let's be practical. You make like $150 a year,
and she makes
like
$3
million because she started some business.
Hell yeah, good guy. Let's go. You're each other.
Okay. What if that number was like you were making $50,000 and she was making like this?
Why am I making $50,000?
I don't know.
What happened?
That's like you working at McDonald's.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened in my life that I'm making $50,000?
So if she's making $3 million a year, you still gonna go work and like every day work a 9 to 5, work a 8 to 6. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Earning 150?
Hell no.
So you be comfortable staying at home?
I'm gonna do something. I'm not gonna just be like chilling at the crib all day, but I'm gonna do something. But I'll probably open up a home studio. I'll be a rapper, bro. Like, go ahead. You got 3 M's. You bring in 3 M's a year? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'll be at the crib. I'll just be exploring my artistic side. Like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So she's the one that calls.
But I just don't feel like, I just personally,
cool.
I mean, like, I say yes, but I just don't personally feel like me, the person that I am, will ever be in a position where I'm not making no money. Like, I can't get done like that.
Yeah, you're making money.
But I just feel like if my wife can make $3 million a year, why can't I do it? She know how to do it, so I can't do it. You get what I'm saying?
Got it.
So I don't feel like I would be cool with just like looking at someone who's doing better than me in a certain department and not being like, okay, well, how can I do that? As opposed to just being like, all right, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you know someone who know how to do it, then learn how to do it and do it.
Okay.
So like I would say yes, but like not really.
Okay. Alright. That's fair. Tay, I got a question for you. This is honestly a question. Rate Trevor 1 through 10.
Oh my god! GK! Oh my god!
It's a hot seat. That's a great question.
And don't answer it wrong either. Don't answer it wrong either. There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer.
Damn!
Wow.
I would say.
She's about to violate. Oh, here go ahead. I don't know about you. Oh, damn. I'm about to get fried on camera. Lord. Go ahead.
7.5.
7.5.
7.5 to 8.
Alright. Some script. Trevor.
I'll take that.
Rate Tay, 1 through 10.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I don't like this.
Oh, would you like the other one? Unbelievable.
You gotta be
I
honest,
wasn't
bro.
really looking at you that much during the whole podcast.
He's right here.
Yeah, but I'm saying like we were looking at the camera a lot.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, does that make sense?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Am I supposed to feel worse or better about your rating?
Better.
Third.
So 1 to 10? I feel like it's unfair to rate people on a scale.
Oh, no. It's a hot seat. It's a hot seat. You agreed to be on it.
Are you ready?
Okay. All right, so 8 even? We'll call it Swissies. All right, Trevor, what do you think about interracial relationships?
Oh, what do I think about interracial relationships? I mean, do whatever you want to do. I mean, your relationship ain't my relationship, like, so I'm worried about myself. But, like, on the low, like, I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, stick to your people. That's all. But, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. If I see an interracial couple, like, in public, I, like, side eye a little bit. But again, it's like, do whatever you want. I just feel like, why? Especially, like, if you're a black man, like, why? Out of all your options, you're gonna choose someone who's not black? Like, that's kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, again, like, do whatever you want. I just feel like black women are the just most fire women on the planet. So it's like, you're kind of downgrading if you're going outside of that. But like, hey,
Period.
do whatever you want to do. whatever you want to do.
We are now approaching the end of the show here of relationship status. This has been an awesome episode. As we're about to leave, 1 or 2 sentences, you guys got some advice for people out there exploring young relationships, trying to make it out in these streets, navigate it in this tough world.
The streets ain't sweet, I'll tell you that much. But just keep it 100 with people and keep your options open.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, don't do what I did. But serious note, yeah, just, I feel like I've said it already, like, don't do it, like, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
You should give me a couple extra seconds to think about this.
Yeah, take your time. Camera's rolling. Let it.
When people show you who they truly are, believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't believe like men will change, because they won't. They show you who their true colors are in the beginning, and you just have to notice that and realize that and not try to make them change. So that would be my one bit. But have fun, enjoy when you're young. That's your time to have fun.
You heard it here first on relationship status. Thanks for watching.